In this video, we are going to be talking about 3 core pages that you definitely want to focus on for your portfolio website. So, interior designers, photographers, architects, artists, this is important for you guys. So stick around and I promise you it will be very, very useful. Hey friends, welcome back to the Original Box YouTube channel, or welcome if you are a newcomer here. This channel is all about web design and marketing for portfolio websites. So if that's something that is of interest to you and you know is going to benefit you, stick around and maybe even hit the subscribe button. In today's video, I want to touch on 3 very important pages for your portfolio website. And these are the pages that you want to stick to. Well, I call them core pages, and we actually harp on a lot about this on this channel, but there's a reason for that. And quite often I do feel like these things are overlooked. So if you are a photographer, an interior designer, an architect, or an artist, these 3 pages are going to be very important for you. So stick around and we'll go through it in detail. And also at the end of the video, I want to talk about something very exciting coming up, so you don't want to miss it. So the first very important page to your website is your, drum roll please, homepage. Okay, this might seem obvious, but I do feel like, again, the importance of the design of the homepage is quite often overlooked. Now, your homepage is very significant because it's the first stopover on the journey that is your website. And you want to actually think about your website as a journey that you're taking your website visitor, which is your potential lead, potential client. You're taking them on a journey, and your homepage is the first stopover. And all throughout the homepage, you really want to focus on, okay, what is the next step I want my site visitor to take? You want to design it quite strategically. Now, chances are if you are a new business, you've only been in business for a very short time, you're not going to be splurging on a web designer. You're probably going to be DIYing your website or buying a template. And so this is why I really want to talk about the importance of keeping your homepage quite strategic and keeping it quite focused on what is the next step you want your website visitor to take. This leads me on to the next important page for your portfolio website. And guess what? It is your portfolio. Believe it or not, your portfolio is absolute core to your website as a photographer, as an interior designer, as someone who is showcasing their work. Whether you call it portfolio or projects or previous work, whatever it is your portfolio. And it is the thing that is going to convince, enroll, entice your potential lead, your potential customer to wanting to work with you. Your portfolio is going to be key to whether they decide to work with you, whether they decide, okay, you are the right designer, photographer, whatever it is for them. So again, you want to keep it quite strategic. So one of the main problems I see with many portfolio websites out there is that business owners like to cram all of the projects they do into their portfolio. Don't do this. You don't want absolutely every project in there. You really only want to showcase your best work. If there is a project where potentially you're not entirely proud of, maybe it was your very first project that you did. If you're an interior designer, maybe you didn't get a professional photographer in that day, and it's something that you don't particularly want to show off, then don't. Because if you're not entirely convinced by it, your potential lead, your potential customer isn't going to be convinced either. You want to be in love with the projects that you're showcasing in your portfolio. You know your ideal client the best. I don't. You know them the best. You know what they want. You know what they're after. You know what's going to entice them to want to work with you. So make sure you sift through your projects, even if it is just 2 or 3 that you showcase. Believe it or not, that is enough, because your website visitor isn't going to trawl through 20 projects. They're not. People do not have that time. They are going to be convinced within the first 1 or 2 projects that they go through. Like, they've already made their mind up at that point. So yeah, that is one of the biggest issues I see, is people cram everything into their portfolio, into their projects. Don't do that. And so that is very important to your portfolio strategy. The last core page that I want to talk about is your contact page. And guess what? If there's no contact page, if there are any contact details, a contact form for your potential lead, potential customer to fill out, then chances are they don't know how to get in touch with you, and they'll probably just leave your website and go somewhere else. On your contact page, it is quite important to look at the kind of copy you're putting on there, what kind of contact details you're putting on there. Even if it is just a contact form, you don't have to list your email address, your phone number. One really great strategy for your contact page is to just have a contact form on there. And for a platform like Squarespace, you can edit and have exactly the fields that you want in your contact form. And you can use this form as a screening process. So when a potential customer is serious about working with you, they're going to want to fill out that form. They're going to want to fill out all those fields before they get in touch with you. Like, they will have the patience and the willingness to do that. So the contact form is a really good screening process. And you can ask questions beforehand. Things like, what kind of industry are they in? Whatever it is that's important to you before they even get in touch with you. Then at least when that information comes through to you, before you get back in touch with them, you have quite a bit of information about them. So that is why we prefer contact forms over just simply handing over your email address or phone number. Oh, God, no. Have a contact form. Another thing about your contact page is you might decide to include like a last bit of copy, something that really reaches out to their pain point. It's like that last bit of convincing them to get in touch with you. So maybe noting again, like their pain point, asking them a question before where you actually have your contact form. It just gives them that last push to get in touch with you, to wanting to get in touch with you. So to conclude, the 3 most important pages or core pages to your portfolio website are the home page, your portfolio, and the contact page. Now you might be thinking, well, actually, I also want to showcase more about me. I want to talk about me. Hello. I want to talk about my studio. I want to talk about my team. Or you might be thinking, well, what about my services? I have like 3 different types of services. I'm an architect, or I'm an interior designer, or a photographer, and I do several different industries, and I want to talk about them. And that's absolutely fine. Of course it is. I'm not saying that you don't have other pages on your website. All I'm saying is make sure you focus on these 3 core pages. Make sure you spend maybe more time on them. Again, especially if you're DIYing your website, you want to spend and invest a little bit more time on your homepage, on your portfolio, and your contact page, and make sure you are super happy with them, because only once you are, will your potential lead, your potential client, they'll also be happy with them, and they'll want to get in touch with you. Now, in many cases, you can actually include information about your services, information about you, maybe a bit more about your studio on the bottom of your homepage. You don't need to dedicate an entire page to it. Again, if you are a brand new business, a brand new studio, a new photographer coming into the industry and just starting out, you may not have like a whole load of information that you can fill an entire website page with. And you can get away with just having a couple of sections on your homepage, just talking a little bit more about you, or a little bit more about what you do, typical investments that your clients can expect, budgets that they can expect, things like that. You can actually get away with having on your homepage. Again, not distracting your potential client from the actual purpose or goal of your portfolio website, which is to showcase your work and to get them to work with you, to get them to get in touch and to work with you. So, my friends, look, we know how important it is to work on your portfolio, to have a really great portfolio. We are website designers. We know our portfolio is very important to our website. We've been in business for a while, so we have a little bit more information that we want to showcase, and that might be the case for you as well. So it will vary from business to business. It will vary depending on where you are in your process, how many years you've been in business. So there is no black and white. There's no gospel to website design, but there are some key strategies like the ones we've discussed today that you want to focus on. So I want to thank you for sitting here and listening to me today. And also I promised you that I will be announcing something very exciting at the end of this video. And I actually want to talk about some Squarespace templates that we are launching specifically for portfolio websites. We will be focusing on portfolio websites for interior designers, for photographers, and these templates are launching soon. Now, if you want to stay up to date and you want to know exactly when they launch, make sure to subscribe to this channel and to join our email list. We have a whole list of freebies that you can grab and join our email list, and I'm going to link that in the description of this video. So head over there, grab yourself some free resources, get on our email list, and stay up to date on our news, and we'll announce exactly when our Squarespace templates are being launched. Friends, thank you so much for listening today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Comment for me what you would like for me to talk about in future. What exact pain points, what is it that you struggle with for your portfolio website? What questions do you have? Comment, let us know, and we may create a video on that in future. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you again.